Hey there. Let's talk about something I know a lot of you are dealing with. It's that feeling of being stuck in your English learning journey. You're at that intermediate level, you're good, but you really want to be great, especially for your career. Well, today we're going to break down exactly how you can make that jump.
Does this sound familiar? You can handle your day-to-day work, you get through meetings just fine, but you know there's another level. You want to sound more professional, more persuasive, just more advanced. If you're nodding along right now, then you are in exactly the right place.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about this intermediate plateau. Then, we'll dive into some tricky grammar points. After that, we'll upgrade your vocabulary to help you sound like a pro. We'll touch on communicating across cultures, and then we'll wrap it all up with a simple action plan you can start using today.
Okay, so what exactly is this plateau? You know the feeling. It's when you're not making big, obvious mistakes anymore, but you just don't feel like you sound like a native speaker in a business setting. And let me tell you, getting to the next level isn't about memorizing the dictionary. It's all about mastering the little details.
The real secret is focusing on what we call fluency markers. Think of these as the tiny signals, the small words, the precise vocabulary, and even the cultural awareness that tell everyone you have a truly advanced command of English.
Let's kick things off with grammar. And don't worry, this isn't about going back to basic verb charts. We're going to zero in on those small, nagging errors that a lot of intermediate speakers make, the kinds of things that can subtly get in the way of your professional image.
Okay, here's the super common one. Adding an extra is before a verb, like can. You might say, "It can control the system." The professional and much cleaner way is just, "It can control." See? That small fix makes you sound so much more direct and confident.
And here's another classic fluency marker. Articles. You know, those little words like and the. It's so easy to drop them and say something like, "We must have special function." But adding that tiny little "we must have a special function," instantly makes your sentence sound more complete and polished. It's a small change with a big impact.
This leads us to a really powerful tip. Learn words and phrases, not just by themselves. For example, don't just learn the word focus, learn the whole chunk, focus on. These word pairs are basically fixed in business English, and when you use them together automatically, you just sound so much more natural.
All right, we've tweaked our grammar, now let's talk about vocabulary. Because honestly, the words you choose can completely change how credible and influential you come across at work. Here are a few simple swaps you can make right away. Instead of talking about big problems, try saying significant challenges. Instead of making money, a business generates revenue. And that good experience on your resume, that's extensive expertise. These aren't just fancier words, they're more precise and they carry a lot more professional weight.
Now this next part, this is where we get into true mastery. Because advanced English isn't just about what you say. It's about understanding what is not being said. It's about reading between the lines, which is so important in many English-speaking workplaces.
So, take a look at this phrase. What do you think it really means? On the surface, it sounds like simple advice. But in a professional setting, this is a very polite but also very firm way of saying, "That is a bad idea. Please don't do that."
This is what we call indirect communication. And learning to use these polite phrases, like "I wouldn't" or "have we considered," is an absolute game changer. It lets you disagree or give tough feedback while still keeping things positive and professional.
And this just proves that context is everything. Think about it. A shopkeeper says, "Can I help you?" when you walk in, that's a friendly welcome. But if they say that same phrase after you've been wandering around for an hour, yeah, it might mean something totally different. Picking up on these subtleties is a huge step forward.
Okay, so we've covered grammar, vocabulary, and even some cultural nuances. It might feel like a lot, but how do you actually put this all into practice? Well, this last section is your simple, step-by-step guide to get started right away.
Here it is, your 4-step plan. Number 1, start a list, your own collocation bank of those professional word pairings. 2, start practicing those polite, indirect phrases. 3, train your ears to really notice the small words, the articles and prepositions. And finally, number 4, always be curious. Ask yourself why someone chose to say something a certain way.
And remember, getting from intermediate to advanced isn't one giant leap. It's a journey of small, consistent upgrades. Every time you choose a more professional phrase, every time you catch a small grammar point, you're taking a step forward. You can absolutely do this.
So, I'll leave you with a challenge. Based on everything we've talked about, What is one professional phrase you are going to practice this week? Just one. Maybe it's swapping big problem for significant challenge. Pick one thing, be consistent, and you will be amazed at how quickly you progress.